it was either at Claire's or this kiosk in the mall. It was one of those two, but I remember either one they used a gun, a piercing gun, which is terrible for your ears. You're not supposed to use piercing guns for your ears. They hurt your ears more than they help. A piercing needle is always what you're supposed to use. I learned that way after the fact, but I went to either one of those, and all I could really remember is that they used two at the same time, and they didn't do it one at a time. They did them like at both. There was like two people that held them, and then they kind of like pushed them at the same time, or like the person who was doing it would hold both of them and then click it. I think that one hurt way more than the rest of them because I was a kid when I got them done. So I think a lot of it was more scary than painful, you know. It was like nerves and fear and stuff like that. So that's what I remember of that one. I would rate the pain for being just a regular ear piercing like 6 out of 10. Now I'm just kind of going off the top of my head when I say that number because it's been a while since I have had I've experienced the pain of my ear piercing, you know. So I'd say it's like a 6 out of 10, maybe 5. Yeah, because I really don't remember. But I would actually recommend all of them. Besides, there's like 2 that I wouldn't recommend for reasons that I will explain later. But yeah, I would recommend your first ear piercings if you're gonna get any of them out of the ear. I'd recommend the ear piercings. Because just one ear piercing looks very nice, you know, very clean, you know. So, yeah. And then I have my second one. Here. I got that done at a piercing shop. I'd recommend going to a piercing shop more than like Claire's or like a kiosk or something because they're they're more professional there, obviously, and they will explain everything more in depth on how to take care of it properly, and they'll use the proper materials and techniques and stuff to make sure they heal correctly and stuff like that. So, like I said, my second one was at a piercing shop. When you go to a piercing shop, you'll go in. It's different for all of them though. But the one I went to, you go in, and then they'll ask you what you're looking for, and then you tell them what you want, and then you'll fill out these forms. And if you're underage, you'll have to have a family member or guardian to sign for you. And I was under age when I did it. I was under 18. So my mom signed for me, and so we did all that, and then that's when the nerves set in, because it's all filled out and paid for. Well, not paid for, I had to pay afterwards, but yeah, the nerves kind of settle in because you're about to get it done. So for me, he took me to a separate room, and I laid on a couch, and he sterilized everything, and then they dot it, and you look at the dots and see if you like the placement, and then he'll get the needle prepared, and then he'll stick it through. He'll do one at a time. For the pain, I would rate it a 4 or 5 out of 10. It doesn't hurt super bad, but with my third one, the one at the very, very top, this one, that one hurt more cartilage up there, that it hurt a little more than the rest of them. But I did both of them. They looked so cool together, like all three of them. I've had these forever now, and they're very cool. I like them all. The pain, I'd rate it like a 7 or an 8. That's for me though. It might be different for you, but like a 7 or an 8, I would recommend. It's, yeah, like I said, it's different for everybody, but for me, it was that. The healing process, for all of them were basically the same thing. You had to just wash them with soap, and or he gave me like the solution or like sea salt, and I cleaned them, and now they're perfectly healed and fine. The top ones for me get a little, they hurt sometimes. I have to take them out sometimes because they hurt, but yeah, besides that, I like them all. I would recommend them all. Yeah, they're neat. I like them. I change them into rings sometimes, and then I'll change and do like different styles with them. It's kind of neat. Okay, moving on to the face. This piercing I got on my face here was this nose ring, my right nose ring. I've had this one for, I'd say, about 5 years, 5-6 years. I loved this piercing. I love this piercing so much. I loved it before I got the other one, but like it just on its own, you know. But yeah, I wanted a nose piercing for so long, and I was so happy when I got it. And then so when you go in, I went to, I went to the same piercer who did my ears, my other two ears, my other two ear piercings, and he did my nose. He'll do all the papers and stuff like that, and then he'll do the placement and stuff like that, and then it's like the ears, everything's the same basically. But I believe for me, he just used his hand and pushed it through. It was because my nose has a lot of cartilage here. It, like tissue and stuff like that. It made a loud snap going through. It hurt a little more than I would like to say. It hurt, and yeah, sometimes you'll, because it connects with your eyes and stuff like that, you'll cry, not intentionally, but it will come out. The healing process is you'll get bumps on it and lumps and stuff like that, but you'll get like keloids after a while, like little bumps that hang out on your nose. You get like irritation bumps and stuff like that if you mess with it too much. Like I said, I had this for like 5 years now, and it's healed completely, and I mess with it all the time, and it's perfectly fine. I change this between a stud and nose hoop periodically, not too often, but yeah, right now I'm sticking to the hoop. So for this one, I'd rate it a 6 out of 10. It's not terribly bad, but it still hurts a little bit. And then my most recent piercing that I got was this one. I think I've had this for like 3 weeks now, maybe 4. I'm not great with dates, so and timelines, so I couldn't tell you how long it's been. It was the same thing. I actually had to go to a different shop this time because he moved his shop. So it was like a whole different place. But I got in, did everything. It wasn't like the last time I went and got a professional piercing. I had to scan this QR code to get my information on my phone, and yeah, I had to fill in the piercing. Now for this one, it was a little less painful than the first one, I'd say, because I think in my head kind of understood what was gonna happen and how it would feel. So I kind of had this inkling in my mind. It's like, oh, we already did this before, you know. So you know, we'll get through it here, and it won't be, you know, as bad. And it really wasn't. I would rate the pain a 6 out of 10 like last time. Maybe even like a 5. Because it wasn't as bad. It was a pinch. It's just like a giant pinch, like someone was taking their fingernail and like, or like a really sharp fingernail and pushing it through your nose, you know, really fast, you know. It was it's like a wincing pain, you know. But yeah, I would recommend the double piercings. I would recommend a single one as well. Just because I like the way it looks. Right now, my new one is a little irritated. Not even gonna lie, I was messing with it a lot. I have a problem with messing with piercings when I first get them, and you'll see with my like rejected ones later. But yeah, I had a really big like bump right here. It thankfully is going down. But I've been cleaning it extra well now, and it's slowly starting to go down. But yeah, I really like the double piercings. The next one I got was a septum. Now the septum was done by a different piercer. So I had this done first by the first piercer. This one was a new piercer, and then this one was the one from this one. And so I went in and we did the same procedure as the other one, doing the documents and then the sterilization, and then we did the placement, and then he sterilized it again, and then he had these tongs that have like these silicone pieces, I believe, and you put them up and then he pushed it right through. Now I would rate the pain like a 6 out of 10. I think I would rate most of these 6 out of 10. They were a little more than painful for me, but yeah, I would recommend this a lot. I like it a lot, especially if you can hide it, so you can like flip it up into your nose. I can't do it now because this is healing, and it gets stuck. But yeah, I would recommend this a lot. If you can't have it at like your job or something, you can like flip it up and then you can basically hide it. So yeah, I like the little trio I got going on here. Yeah, I'd recommend these to anybody who thinks about getting one. So those are the piercings that I currently have today. So I have the 3 here, and then I have the 3 here, with this one being the oldest, and then this one being the newest. So let's talk about the 4 that I previously had, but either taken out or got rejected in some way. The first one I have on the list here is my right eyebrow. You kind of still see the scars that are up there. I think I had it for like a month maybe, and then I took it out because I just didn't like it anymore. It wasn't fitting my energy at the moment. So I took it out, and I think I'm gonna put it back in. I think I'm gonna redo it soon, hopefully. I wish I still had it, but at the moment I wasn't resonating with it, so I didn't really think about it too much. So, like I said, I really didn't like it, and I did it at home. So, it was just something that didn't work out. It didn't really hurt. It was the least painful one out of all the other ones I had. It was just a simple push through, and everything was sterile. I wasn't gonna do everything unsterile. So it was a simple push through, and it was completely fine. I had a really hard time cleaning it. I think another reason why I took it out because I didn't want it to get infected because of my lack of responsibility at the time. So I just took it out. I was gonna get an infection from a freaking eyebrow piercing, so I just took it out, along with the idea that I didn't like it. So I think I would get it again and take proper care of it so it, properly works. I would rate the pain like a 4 out of 10. It's very simple, very painless. Yeah, I would recommend an eyebrow piercing to anybody who wants to look cool as hell. So yeah. The next one is my smiley. The reason I took it out was because it was very uncomfortable. I picked at it constantly from like the minute I got it to the minute I took it out. I was constantly picking at it, and it could never properly heal because my tongue was always messing with it. So I just took it out because I was tired of playing with it all the time. It actually got to the point where I played with it so much that it broke out of like the tissue that it was in. If you don't know, your smiley goes in your mouth and it pierces. If you take your lip and you pull it out, there's a piece of skin or like tissue that hangs inside that connects your upper lip to your your gum area, and they pierce inside of there, and then it's like a bar like this that just hangs in your mouth. I got that pierced, and I would play with it constantly, and it broke from playing with it too much, and it just broke and it like fell out of my mouth. So me being me, I tried to salvage it, and it kind of worked. It kind of hung in there for a while, but then it just didn't, so I took it out. It eventually healed back together, and it's perfectly fine now. But yeah, I also was kind of worried about tooth decay and like gum enamel problems. So like if it stays too long, it rubs against the top of your teeth, it'll mess up your teeth. So I was worried about that. The piercer who did my septum, his wife did my smiley, very nice lady. She did it. She had me lay on this bed, and she lifted it up and pierced it. It was a very, very quick pain. I would rate that like a 4 out of 5 as well. I think it hurts more after the fact because it just sits in your mouth and it kind of just hurts, So, yeah, that's, I wouldn't recommend, this one only if you have sensitive teeth. Because it will, like I said, dangle in the front of your teeth. It won't directly touch. It kind of directly touches, but, very slightly, I wouldn't recommend it only if you have sensitive teeth, and if you, like to play with your jewelry too much, because if you play with it too much, it will never heal, and it will just turn into a whole mess. That's the only time I would recommend it. I mean, it's your body, do what you want. But I would only not recommend it for those reasons. Also, I was asked in the request if I would get a tongue piercing, and I believe I answered, I would not get a tongue piercing, only because I would mess with it too much, and it will, just never heal. I don't think I could deal with the swelling and stuff like that. I would mess with it too much, and it would never heal, honestly. So I don't think I would do any more mouth piercings. Like I said, unless I have like a call to do it, If I don't, I don't really think I would. Just for those reasons. They're really cool. I like tongue piercings a lot. piercings. I had my lip piercing in for a bit. I had a lip piercing. I would say I had it maybe like 2023. I had it. I think it was this side. Did that at home. Would not recommend doing it at home. Wouldn't recommend doing anything at home unless you're going to take care of it. Because I didn't take care of literally any of mine. I took it out because the bar was way too small. I think we used a nose piercing bar, and it was super tiny, and it made my lips swell. It hurt to eat. And then because we didn't have a proper bar for it, we took out the nose piercing bar and put a tongue bar in, and this was like that long, just hanging out of my face. I looked ridiculous, and then I was being gaslit into thinking that it looked good, and I'm like, this looks horrible. Why is this on my face? So I took it out. I did it at home. So if that wasn't quite obvious, I did it at home. And like I said, would not recommend doing it at home. Anything that's super quick and easy, I wouldn't do at home. I'd recommend going to a professional piercing shop for it. Doing it, the piercing itself, it was very short, quick, and it was kind of just a pinch. It didn't hurt too much. I think I would give it a 4 out of 10 in pain. It's kind of like the eyebrow. Very quick and easy. It looked cool. It looked actually really cool. I would definitely get it again. Professionally done. But I just took it out because of the whole bar thing. Yeah. I would recommend a lip piercing. I thought it looked really cool with it in. And last but not least, this one's ridiculous. I tried doing my belly button at home. Would not recommend that. I did it at home in my freaking dining room. Like, where the hell was why was I doing this? I did it at home. My sister was gonna pierce my belly button. Terrible decision because A, she never pierced a belly button before, and B, why would I do that, you know? So I'm laying on the floor, stomach out, waiting for her to pierce my belly button. She's like laughing, she thinks this is funny, and laying there, and she tries piercing through. Mind you, I think she's piercing it wrong. Now that I think about it, I think she's piercing it wrong, and she's piercing in it. I can feel it. It's starting to hurt. It's not even like a centimeter in, and it hurts like terribly. And I'm like, I'm not doing this. This hurts too much. And she's like, come on, you'll be okay. And I'm like, I'm not. So I kind of just gave up on that idea. It kind of, when she was doing it, it felt like a very deep pinch in my stomach. My stomach watching, and thank you so much for the request. I would love to have more requests in the future, so if anybody who watches, or if you have a really